She was Hollywood's red-haired saint on screen, but off-screen, Maureen O'Hara was a wild and ambitious actress who was addicted to the thrill of forbidden romance. Keeping up a cover as a devout Catholic, she handpicked lovers who offered both desire and influence. Her every move was calculated and every secret fiercely guarded, and when anyone dared to reveal her true personality, she fought like hell to protect her well-curated image. This isn't the Maureen you think you know. This is the untold sex life of a woman Hollywood could never tame. As a young girl, Maureen O'Hara was bold and drawn to doing what girls weren't supposed to do. From a young age, it was clear that she had a problem with being restricted, and this rebellion fueled her love for soccer. Her obsession with the game was so much that she begged her father to create a women's team, and for a while, Glenmalure Park, home of the Shamrock Rovers, became her second home. Later, she picked up judo and spent her days wishing to climb trees and steal apples like the boys without getting scolded. By 12, she was already 5 feet 6 inches and still growing. Her mother worried she might tower over everyone in Ireland. However, as time passed, Maury got more involved in things that women in her time were engaged in, and acting caught her attention the most. At 17, she finally left Ireland for a film audition in London. Charles Laughton saw her performance and was impressed, so he told her and asked her to read a scene on the spot, but what she did next stunned him. She looked him in the eye and said, "I'm very sorry, but absolutely no." Laughton liked her fire and immediately offered her a 7-year contract with Mayflower Pictures. Maureen didn't just accept, she toured Ireland to celebrate. 2 years later, at 19, Maureen secretly married British producer George H. Brown, but left for Hollywood shortly after. Brown stayed behind in England to shoot a film while she was going, but strangely, Maureen never returned. During the 2 years that she was apart from her husband, she was living a fairy tale love life with William Houston Price, an American film director that she met on the set of The Hunchback of Notre Dame just after arriving in America. Outraged, Brown announced to media outlets that he and Maureen were married. However, in 1941, they finally went their separate ways. In her memoir, Tease Herself, she revealed that she regretted many decisions in her early dating life. Still, for some reason, she saw the need to say that she never slept with Brown and that their marriage was of no relevance romantically or professionally. Later that year, she married Price. She also revealed that she lost her virginity to Price on her wedding night. However, she proceeded to say that she regretted sleeping with her second husband and recalled thinking to herself, "What the hell have I done now?" Just after her honeymoon, she realized that her new husband was an alcoholic. They remained together for about a decade and gave birth to a daughter. Maureen revealed that seeing Price get wasted after drinking made her want to file for a divorce several times during the marriage, but she couldn't because of her strong Catholic roots. When Maureen finally decided to file for a divorce, she did so because of incompatibility, and Price had to leave their Bel Air house. One would think that, with the way Maureen held herself in high regard in public and spoke about being religious, she would never get caught up in an immorality scandal, but quite the contrary. On several occasions, she had to debunk rumors of extramarital affairs. One that gained massive traction from media outlets was Anthony Quinn's autobiography. He revealed that they had had an affair during her marriage, something Maureen had denied. According to Anthony, they fell in love on the set of Sinbad the Sailor. Completely smitten by her charms, Anthony referred to her as dazzling and the most understanding woman on earth, who brought out the Gaelic in him, being half Irish. He said they eventually got tired of the deceit and went their separate ways. 2 years after her divorce, Maureen and Enrique Parra, a wealthy Mexican politician and banker, went public with their 14-year relationship. The two crossed paths while on a trip to Mexico the same year she divorced Price. According to Maureen, Enrique saved her from the darkness of an abusive marriage and brought her back into the warm light of life again. Aside from her father, this was the first man with whom she had good things to discuss. She even started learning Spanish because of him, and he enrolled her daughter in a Mexican school. That was good for her, but it's hard to tell if her daughter being far from home was a good choice. With her daughter away, Maureen moved to a smaller property and traveled frequently with Enrique. Even though she was entirely in love, she revealed that she did not trust him because of how refreshing their relationship was, so she hired a private investigator to check if he had someone at his side. It turned out that Enrique was genuine with her. While Maureen enjoyed her blissful relationship, not everyone, including John Ford, the legendary American movie director, was happy. Being like a mentor to her and a devout Catholic, he believed that her place was with Price, despite his flaws. Price also never left the picture. He tried making life a living hell for Maureen at every slight opportunity, and in 1955, he took her to court, seeking custody of their daughter. In return, Maureen countersued him for not paying child support and alimony. About the same time that Maureen battled her ex in court, John Ford could no longer hold back his frustration and openly insulted Maureen and her brother during the publicity of a movie, saying, "If that whore sister of yours can pull herself away from that Mexican long enough to do a little publicity for us, the film might have a chance at some decent returns." Maureen's morality was again questioned in 1957, when Confidential magazine published a piece titled, "It was the hottest show in town, when Maureen O'Hara cuddled in row 35. According to them, Maureen was spotted making out at Grauman's Chinese Theatre in Hollywood with an unknown Latino man. The article claimed that the theatre manager had to throw them out after stumbling on them stretched across 3 seats in an intense lovemaking session. They even went into detail to describe how she and her lover were dressed. Maureen had entered Grauman's wearing a white silk blouse neatly buttoned. Now it wasn't. The guy had come in wearing a spruce blue suit. Now he wasn't. The coat was off, his collar was open, and his tie was hanging limply at half-mast in the steam. Grauman was popularly referred to as a place where Hollywood stars with secret affairs went for shenanigans. It was rumored that these celebrities arrived separately and booked seats in the back row just to get freaky. The Confidential knew this and paid hefty sums to ushers and managers to give them detailed accounts whenever a high-profile celebrity visited the famous back rows. Maureen did not take the news lightly, so she filed a $5 million lawsuit against the media outlet and brought her sister, a nun, to testify as her character witness in court. In her defense, she was not in the country when the said event happened, which was enough to bag her the victory in court, since Confidential did not disclose the actual date of the event. Despite winning by mere technicality, Maureen owned the victory. In her autobiography, she proudly wore it as a badge, giving herself the title of the first actress to win a case against an industry tabloid. However, Irish author and film historian Aubrey Malone revealed that the case lasted just 6 weeks in court and was settled out of court. Eventually, her relationship with Enrique lost its spark, and they went their separate ways in 1967. According to Maureen, they had promised to get married, but his family and friends were against the idea, so they told him lies about her. But what broke the camel's back in their relationship was when Enrique's daughter passed away. She claimed that leaving him was one of the most painful things that she ever had to do. As usual, after every relationship, Maureen always had someone ready to fill the void left by the next person. Later, in 1976, she started dating Charles F. Blair Jr., a former Brigadier General of the United States Air Force, a former chief pilot at Pan Am, and the founder and head of the United States Virgin Islands airline Antilles Airboats, who was also 11 years older than her. The following year, they tied the knot, and they lived quietly before Charles passed away 2 years later in a plane crash. Then, Maureen became the first woman president of a scheduled airline in the United States after being elected CEO and president of Charles's airline. 1978 was indeed horrible for her. Aside from her third husband passing away, she was also diagnosed with cancer of the uterus. She agreed to an operation where her uterus was removed. Living a new life as a businesswoman, Maureen moved to Glengariff on the southwest coast of Ireland. However, when a hurricane destroyed the home that she had personally built in St. Croix in 1989, she had 6 heart attacks. She had to undergo angioplasty when she was trying to make inquiries on how to rebuild the house that was destroyed. The once energetic Maureen gradually became a shadow of herself and even suffered a stroke in 2005. She barely had loved ones around her during these trying times, and according to her relatives, Maureen became a victim of elderly abuse. According to these relatives, Maureen was being overworked and exploited by her assistant, Carolyn Murphy, who held power of attorney over Maureen's affairs since 2006. The then 92-year-old icon was pressured into frequent public appearances despite her need for rest. In 2012, Maureen finally moved in with her grandson in Idaho. Sadly, she suffered from type 2 diabetes and short-term memory loss in her last years, and quietly passed away at the age of 95 in her sleep on 24 October 2015 from natural causes. The once popular and fiery Maureen O'Hara is today buried at Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia, next to her late husband, Charles Blair. What is the craziest Maureen O'Hara story that you've ever heard? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more updates. While you're still here, click the video on your screen for more celebrity videos.